Alaska is the last frontier, a kingdom of ice and darkness where nature still rules and man is but a temporary visitor. But behind its majestic landscapes lies a deeply haunting silence. It is the state with the highest disappearance rate in the entire United States, a place where entire plains vanish without a trace and where ancient legends seem to come to life in the frozen tundra. From hidden pyramids buried deep under the permafrost to close encounters that defy all logic and scientific explanation. Today, we venture into the heart of the North to reveal the secrets that the ice has tried to protect for centuries. Get ready, because these are the 10 most shocking mysteries of the Alaskan wilderness. The Alaska Triangle is a vast region connecting Anchorage, Juneau, and Utqiagvik, and it is famous for being a place where people disappear without a trace. Since 1988, more than 16,000 people have vanished within its boundaries. What is most disturbing is that in most cases, absolutely nothing is found. No remains, no equipment, or signs of struggle. Some scientists speak of magnetic anomalies that confuse compasses, while others suggest the existence of energy vortexes. It is a geographic space that seems to devour the living, leaving authorities and families without a single answer, only the echo of the Arctic wind blowing over the infinite tundra. The triangle remains a hungry void that continues to defy all modern search and rescue technology known to man today, making it the most mysterious area in North America and a reminder that nature can hide dark secrets forever. This frozen landscape is a real danger where the laws of physics seem to bend, attracting those who seek the unknown, but often taking them away from the world of the living in a silent and definitive way. In the year 1931, the SS Baychimo became trapped in an unexpected and thick ice pack near Barrow. The crew abandoned the ship thinking it would sink soon, but fate had other plans. The Baychimo did not disappear. Instead, it became the ghost ship of the Arctic. For the next 38 years, it was seen dozens of times floating solitary among the icebergs. Several groups tried to board it, but the ship always seemed to escape or become surrounded by sudden storms. The last time it was seen was in 1969, but when rescuers arrived, the ship was gone. To this day, no one knows if it rests at the bottom of the sea or if it is still sailing like a steel specter through the northern fog. It is one of the most incredible maritime enigmas that the Arctic has produced in its long history. The ship became a living legend that defied the storms and the passage of time, proving that some objects seem to have a will of their own in the middle of the frozen wilderness. Many explorers still wonder if the vessel remains trapped in a hidden corner of the ocean, waiting to be found by a new generation of sailors, or to vanish forever into the white silence. For the native peoples of Southeast Alaska, there is nothing more feared than the Kushtaka. This mythological being is a shapeshifter known as the Otter Man. According to the legend, the Kushtaka appears before lost travelers, imitating the cries of a baby or the cries of a woman to lure them toward the water. Once the victim approaches, the Kushtaka steals their soul, preventing them from reincarnating. Although for many it is only a legend, in rural communities the respect for this being is absolute. Many hunters report hearing familiar voices calling them from the forest, or having seen strange figures that vanish when they blink. It is a reminder that in Alaska the danger is not always the weather, but what lurks in the shadows of the trees. The story of the Kushtaka is passed from generation to generation as a real warning about the spiritual dangers that inhabit the deepest and darkest corners of the Arctic jungle, where human logic no longer has power and ancient spirits still claim their sacred territory. Those who have experienced his presence speak of an overwhelming cold and a deep sense of dread that stays with them forever, marking them as witnesses of a world that most prefer to ignore. In October 1972, A plane carrying politician Hale Boggs disappeared while flying from Anchorage to Juneau. What followed was the most massive search in United States history. For 39 days, dozens of planes and ships patrolled the route, but found nothing, not an oil slick or a radio signal. The disappearance fueled conspiracy theories suggesting political motives, but the most disturbing explanation is that it was simply erased by the terrain. The case changed aviation laws, forcing the use of emergency transmitters, but the final fate of Hale Boggs remains buried in mystery. The Alaskan wilderness proved that even the most powerful people can be swallowed by its vastness without a trace. The lack of physical evidence after such an intense search remains one of the greatest enigmas in American politics, and a testimony to the relentless force of nature in the North, where secrets can remain hidden for decades under the ice. To this day, the crash site has never been located, and the mystery of what happened during those final minutes of the flight continues to haunt historians and investigators alike in their search for the truth. Ili inhabits Lake Iliamna, a body of water so large that it has its own ecosystem. For centuries, the natives have spoken of gigantic creatures that break nets and sink boats. Modern sightings are made by pilots reporting dark shadows more than 10 meters long below the surface. Unlike other monsters, Ili is described as a massive fish or a silver reptile with aggressive behavior. The lake is so vast and cold that exploring its depths is almost impossible, allowing the mystery to keep growing. Some believe it is a giant sturgeon, but witnesses insist it is something much older and more dangerous. The vastness of Lake Iliamna offers the perfect hiding place for an unknown species that has managed to survive beyond the reach of modern science, keeping alive the legend of an alpha predator that dominates the fresh waters of the North. Each new report adds another layer of intrigue to an ecosystem that refuses to reveal its deepest secrets despite the efforts of researchers. Many local fishermen still fear the deep waters, knowing that something massive could be swimming beneath their small boats, watching and waiting in the absolute darkness of the lake. Portlock was a prosperous fishing village until it was abandoned in the 40s due to a series of horrific deaths and disappearances. Residents claim to be haunted by a Nantiinaq, a creature similar to Bigfoot but very aggressive. It is said that hunters were found mutilated in a way that no local animal could have done. The terror was so great that by 1950, all the inhabitants abandoned the village, leaving their belongings behind. Portlock remains a ghost town, and a reminder that in Alaska there are predators that are not in biology books. The silence that now dominates the streets of Portlock is a silent testimony of the panic that expelled an entire community from its home. Although decades have passed, no one has tried to rebuild the settlement, and the area is still considered cursed territory by locals who know the history of the bloody attacks. The shadow of the Nantiinaq still seems to cover the surrounding forest, keeping the curious away and preserving the mystery of what really happened in that place. It serves as a dark chapter in the history of the state, where fear of the unknown was stronger than the desire to stay in a productive and beautiful coastal location. In November 1986, Japan Airlines Flight 1628 was escorted by 3 UFOs for almost an hour over Alaska. Captain Terauchi described small crafts and a giant mothership that emitted intense lights and moved with impossible speed. What makes this case unique is that the objects were detected by both the plane's radar and the military radar at Elmendorf Base. Although the FBI and FAA tried to discredit the captain, the radar records remain as proof that something unknown was flying that night. It is one of the best documented close encounters in history. The incident generated an international debate about air safety and the presence of non-human technology in our skies. Despite efforts to hide the truth, the detailed testimony of the crew and independent technical data suggest that we were visited by an advanced intelligence operating with total impunity in restricted airspace. This event remains a fundamental pillar for researchers seeking answers about the reality of unidentified flying objects. The precision of the movements observed and the duration of the encounter make it a case that simply cannot be explained by natural phenomena or known experimental aircraft of that era. Before we enter the top 3, if you are as passionate about these stories as I am, give this video a good like. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell. It helps me a lot to keep investigating these enigmas for you. The town of Nome has been the center of a mystery that has baffled the FBI for decades due to an unusual number of unsolved disappearances. Between 1960 and 2004, many people disappeared without a trace, leading to theories about abductions. Although the FBI concluded that alcohol and weather were to blame, residents report strange lights and the feeling of being watched by something non-human. Nome remains one of the darkest spots in Alaska, where the truth seems to be buried under the snow. The fear persists in the community, as official explanations do not match the experiences of those who live there. The atmosphere of isolation in Nome creates the perfect setting for events that defy logic, and the lack of clear answers only fuels distrust of the authorities. Stories of encounters with strange beings and the sudden disappearance of friends and family have left a deep scar on the town's identity, making it a place where mystery is part of everyday life, and danger seems to lurk in every frozen corner. Many people avoid going out alone at night, fearing that they might become the next name on the long list of those who simply vanished into the cold northern air. In Gakona lies HAARP, officially a facility to study the ionosphere, but for many it is the center of the world's biggest conspiracies. It is said that it can manipulate the weather, create earthquakes, and even conduct mind control experiments. The secrecy that surrounded the project and its military funding fuel the mystery of its true function. Although it is now managed by a university, reports of strange phenomena and electronic failures have not ceased. HAARP represents the fear of what happens when science meets military power in Arctic isolation. The huge antennas pointing to the sky have generated suspicions about the use of directed energy to influence global events. Despite public guided tours, critics insist that the facility's real capabilities are kept hidden under layers of national security. The idea that man can control the forces of nature from a remote base in Alaska continues to capture the imagination of millions, making HAARP a symbol of secret technology that could be shaping our future without our knowledge. Whether it is a harmless scientific project or a tool for global domination, its presence in the Alaskan wilderness remains a point of intense debate and constant surveillance by independent researchers. Finally, we reach the deepest mystery: the Black Pyramid. According to reports from geologists, there's a massive pyramidal structure buried under the Alaskan permafrost. It is said to have been discovered after a nuclear test in 1992 that revealed a perfect geometric structure. The pyramid would be much larger than that of Giza and would emit a massive amount of electromagnetic energy. The area is heavily guarded and is a no-fly zone. Is it an ancient power source or otherworldly technology hidden by the government? The Black Pyramid is Alaska's best-kept secret, an enigma that challenges our history. Many believe that this structure is responsible for the magnetic anomalies in the Alaska Triangle, acting as a beacon or an engine that has remained active for millennia. The existence of a giant pyramid in Northern America would force the rewriting of all history and archaeology books, suggesting that an advanced civilization inhabited these lands much earlier than we imagine. As long as the ice continues to cover this secret, we can only speculate about its origin and its true purpose on our planet. Alaska is a powerful reminder that our world still has places where mystery is the true sovereign. From the depths of the Triangle to the buried secrets of the Black Pyramid, these lands challenge us to look far beyond the obvious. If you enjoyed this journey through the last corner of the world, give this video a like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what mystery did I miss? See you in the next video.